Hey, what's up, everybody? I wanted to do a little update on my peacock bass tank. I guess the last update was probably around a month ago. These guys are growing pretty quick. They're a bit of probably 6 or 7 inches now, and I've had them since they were probably like 3 inches. The clown I've done there for reference, he's about a foot long. These guys are just eating ravenously. As I did mention on my last videos, the draft catfish, he was in here, but when it came to trying to get the bass to really be able to eat, um, the draft cat kind of gradually got to the point where he wasn't really letting anything else eat. So anytime I throw food in, as soon as he would move, the bass would go hide, the clown knife would hide, because none of them are big enough to really compete with him for food. So I figured putting him with my Amarillo would be the best thing, because the Amarillo can definitely compete with him for food because he's huge. And but yeah, anyways, he was gonna have to go out of this tank for a little while, regardless, because the room that this tank is in is also where the new setup is gonna go, and I'm gonna have to either move this tank or at least reposition this tank in order to do the other setup. So I figure it's better just to go ahead, and since I had to move him anyways to get these guys eating and try to get them bulked up, I may as well leave him there for a little while. That way I don't have to move them back and forth, because, as majority of y'all know, moving large fish is not exactly that easy, and it's both stressful on us and on them. So I figure I will just leave him there for the time being, and probably be a month or two, and I should have the new setup up and going. Right now, I'm just waiting to move some stuff around, but it all takes time. I work all the time. I've got a family and all that, so that all takes front seat over this. But these guys are all doing good. What else was I going to say about this thing? Well, to kind of touch on the pothos. I do use pothos in almost every tank, as you can see here. More or less what I end up doing with the majority of my pothos. Some people just get them off of trimmings or whatever. So I got a decent amount of roots going on down there. None of the pothos I have are all that old. I just really started doing them again, and what I'll end up doing is going to either my local Lowe's or Home Depot or something like that, and get the potted, the largest potted ones I can find, and the smallest potters usually. These all look for those dense plants, because I know at that point the root system is going to be more or less overtaking the pot, and that's what happens in most cases. But you can see how thick the roots are down here. I'll just take them out of the container, wash all the dirt off, break the roots up a little bit so they can kind of acclimate over and start new growth a lot easier. And then pretty much all of them, I just find a place in the canopy. Like this tank here is kind of weird, so I have just some custom paint, pieces of glass up here, and have it wedged in where it can just sit down in the water, and it works perfectly fine. This tank I can actually have live plants in it. Other tanks I can't. The bass don't really seem to mess with anything. There have been some nips out of some of the plants, and I think that's more accidental from kind of feeding frenzy thing, or maybe just maybe the clown knife testing stuff, since they don't really have that good a vision. But pothos do definitely seem to help as far as keeping down on the nitrates. Like I said, most of my tanks I can't really do live plants, especially if you have large cichlids like I almost always have. Pothos are going to be your best friend as far as being able to have some kind of plants in the aquarium. There are some other plants you can use too, but I find pothos are the easiest to upkeep, and they tend to grow the best off of the least light. But I'm also trying out, I haven't used this stuff in a really long time, the Extreme aquatic foods. None of my local stores sell it anymore, so I had to order some online, and trying it out again, because if I like it enough I may stick with it, because they make some really large pellets, and I've been trying to find an alternative to Massivore for things like my draft catfish and like all my large stuff, because Massivore I just can't stand the smell of it, just like these food sticks here. That's one reason I don't use them. I use them to pellet train the bass, but I pretty much kind of refuse to feed them, except every once in a while, just to try to get rid of them. I cannot stand the smell, and there's only a few companies I found that make really large pellets. So I may end up ordering some of their, I believe it's the Monster pellet. I may order some of that here soon. I want to order this to try it out with the bass and all that, since they like pellets. And I still currently have some food to use up that I was feeding the draft cat. So I figured I'd try a small thing out on these guys before I order a big thing for the other fish. Anyways, guys, yeah, if y'all have any questions or anything like that, just leave them in the comments. I'm gonna be trying to upload a lot more regularly now. I had stopped for quite a while. I had a lot going on. I figured I'd start doing it a little bit again and trying to make the channel a little bit more informational. So if there's anything I can help out with, just let me know. Anyways, guys, rate, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all guys next time.